Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. I want to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakadash, which in the Pele tongues, created as a Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles, elders, the great millstone, and shalom to you, sister, brothers, living this truth, and shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, this lesson right here is going to be more of a visual lesson, so it's probably good to get edified by this lesson when you're able to watch it, because I'm going to play about 2 clips that's going to show a lot of good information, because I'm going to show, like, in this lesson, the money has went digital, which is going to be a form of control, which is going to lead to the MOTB, the micro CHIP. And we're at that point now where not exactly the micro CHP is rolling out, but we're at the point where the money's going digital. The control system for that to happen has now already went into place. And so starting out, I'm going to show a clip of President Putin from Russia signing his country to take on the digital currency. This thing is not a conspiracy theory. It's not like we making it up. No, these countries have taken on a digital currency, which is one step closer into that micro CHIP. So let's check it out.
Putin signs digital ruble law making a CBDC possible in Russia. The new law describes a legal framework for a central bank digital token. Russia's President Vladimir Putin signed the digital ruble bill into law today, allowing the country's central bank to issue its own digital currency. The digital ruble, which the Bank of Russia has long been mulling over, will be used for payments along with other methods, according to the new amendments to Russia's civil code. The digital ruble accounts will be managed by the central bank, the law says. The bill passed its third, final hearing on July 11 and had been waiting for the president to be signed. Digital ruble is a CBDC project the Bank of Russia has been working on since 2020, when the Bank of Russia published its first analytical report on the topic. Later, the regulator updated the report, including the feedback from Russian banks and other financial market participants. The regulator announced it started piloting the system with a number of Russian banks in February 2022, shortly before the country started a war in Ukraine. Now, as Russia is heavily sanctioned by the US and Europe, the digital ruble might become one of the ways to circumnavigate the massive financial restrictions imposed on the country by the West. The project initially was viewed by the Bank of Russia both as a tool against sanctions and a way to control how the government is spending money allocated for social projects. According to the head of the Parliament's Committee on Financial Markets, Anatoly Aksakov, the digital ruble will also allow controlling and limiting the ways private citizens can spend them. For example, parents would be able to control on what their kids spend their pocket money, Aksakov told Parliamentskaya Gazeta in an interview earlier in July.
So did you hear that? President Putin has now signed the digital ruble, which he already did that. He did it, what's to say, July 24th. The digital ruble is now online and it be governed by the central bank. And did you hear what the AI bot said at the end? That now parents better control the way their children spend their money. It's a control mechanism. Peep that, the whole keyword control. That's the whole point. So get to the scriptures. And if he's doing that, China's already ahead of the game. They're doing theirs. Their people are already spending their digital currency. And the US is not far behind, as the Fed now has now went online. So everybody will be on that. And so this scripture right here is coming to life and will come to life, regardless of what these scoffers got to say. So this is Revelation 13 and 16. And the reason he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, here's the kicker. And that no man might buy or sell, say that he hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Key thing is said, and that no man might buy or sell. So with your money now being digital. The system, the B system, which is doing this, can now control whether you buy or sell unless you have that new digital setup. Which starting out is going to be like we got our debit cards, phones, things of that nature. Is how it's going to start out. They're going to get everybody used to it like that. Get everybody used to ain't no going to no ATM and drawing your cash out and putting your cash in your hand. That's over with. The money is digital, which means it's on cyberspace. It's in the internet. It's in the system. That's why we're about to be living under a beast system. So if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to, do what's they call it, commerce, buying or selling. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be on your own. And people always, like back in the day, say they're not going to do that. They can't do that. They're doing it now. Putin has signed the digital ruble. The China's using the digital yuan, which they call it a different name. We're going to play a clip on that to where Moabite chick is going to walk us all down how, they're living in China already. They're already on a social credit score. China is the pilot to the beast system. They're going to be the first ones to, that I believe, I'm going to say that for sure, but I believe they're going to be the first ones to micro CHIP their public, their population. Because they were the first ones to roll it out, the digital currency. They're the leaders of the beast system, the pilot program. So we're gonna watch a clip about how China's using their digital system, and we're gonna see the name of it. And this is not, this is a conspiracy theory. This is not like I'm looking at these other camps. You can't scoff at this no more. Because the next phase, once to get everybody comfortable using a digital asset, a digital currency, the next step, they're going to put a device in your body to track you. And then if you're an Israelite and you accept that micro CHIP, you no longer qualify for salvation on this side. You 2/3, you got to know your Habashah by pain. You got to know him the hard way. You're going to get that smoke with your Habashah. That's why we keep telling our people and warning. That's what Apostle Eda's putting us to put out at least one lesson a week on this, because our people need to know what the mark of the beast is. And it's that micro CHIP. That way you won't take it. And we're going to have a lot on the line. You're going to say no. Yeah, you might be bummed out, no car, no house, but don't take it. Wait it out. Just like we did that last situation. And it's coming soon. I mean, this thing is coming fast, Yasharala, which I'm grateful for that because I'm ready to get up out of here. So let's go watch that clip. And like I said, the Moabite, she's going to walk us through how they're using their little asset. So let's check her out.
Hi, I am Lily, and I'm from Kapaija Shanghai office. Clearly, one of the biggest trends in the financial industry over the past few years has been the development of central bank digital currency, or CBDCs. It's designed to help countries move digital, have better control over monetary policies, as well as better prepare for the future. Although many countries are currently pursuing their initiatives on CBDCs, China, with no doubt, is in the lead and has rolled out its own digital currency.
I should say that in pride. China is in the lead. Yeah, you're going to be in the lead and get that device in your body too, Heifer.
EP, with the initiative to be part of M0 and to replace cash in the future. It is also known as the eCNY. We have received a lot of questions from our audience as to how this eCNY app works. So we have put together this video to show you a bit more about the ideas behind China's DCEP, as well as how we use it on a day-to-day basis. Okay, let's get started. So let's first download this app and get it set up. The first thing you need to know is that this app is available in most of the popular app stores in China. In my case, I'm using an iPhone, so I can just download from the App Store. Now that it's installed, let's open it up and put in our information. I have registered with my mobile number, so here I will just log in with my number and password, and the main screen opens up. The app design is actually very simple. Home, Service, and Me. I can open or add eCNY wallet in Me with the authorized 9 banks, including WeChat-related WeBank and Alipay-related MyBank. Using ICBC as an example, I follow Next to verify my mobile number with the code, set up wallet nickname, payment PIN, and it's done. The wallet will be showing in the homepage now. The app allows topping up from 34 authorized banks. I can either type in account information and verify, or transfer from my mobile banking, a different app. Here, I will just transfer from my CMB Bank app to complete the process. Here we go. My wallet has 50 right now. On this main screen, we can see a number of functionalities, such as checking all my wallets, transfer where mobile number, wallet ID, and receive and pay. Right, so now I am all set up and it's time to experience. If you are familiar with how people present Alipay or WeChat Pay QR codes to make transactions, the concept with the eCNY payment is not that much different. Now, let me go to a convenience store and test my payment apps. Alipay and WeChat Pay support user-presented QR codes, where I pull up a QR code on my phone and show it to the merchant, who then scans. This is similar with the eCNY wallet.
Now, in a minute, that's going to switch until they're going to scan either your hand or your head, just like the scriptures say. You know, they already got the technology in place. Look up Elon Musk, Neuralink, look him up. And then they got the NFC that goes in your hand. They already got their technology in place.
All of them support scanning the merchant's QR code to pay with the opposite direction too. You can also use a physical card to do transactions. The rollout of cards has been very limited so far, only in trials and around the Beijing Olympics. The technology for making a card payment is not entirely different than any other contactless payment in so far. You hold the card near the POS terminal to complete the transaction. One other interesting angle of the eCNY card is that it works completely offline. In the future, one could potentially see a scenario where the Chinese national ID and eCNY card are one in the same. So the payment experience is a Euro QR code transaction, which works well. The speed of opening the app, verifying the KYC, and setting up the wallets work quick. So the big question is, why would people use the eCNY app instead of Alipay or WeChat Pay? But there are scenarios that the eCNY would be more useful, such as to government payments and in cash-dominated areas, as eCNY supports offline transaction. Also, currently there's no merchant fee, but will this change? Transaction fee cannot be free forever. Stay tuned with more cutting-edge CBDC updates and expect this format to be not just in China, but across the region.
So China's already using their digital currency. You got now Russia's going to be using their digital ruble. And the order came from Europe. Davos, Switzerland, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. He's the one ordering all of this, because who runs the beast system is Esau Edom. They're the ones that's orchestrating this, through the power of Yahweh Shah, because this is how he's going to test his hopeful elect, is by allowing, putting Esau in place to test you to see if you're going to bow down and take his new economic system that he's putting in place. This new monetary system. It's going to all be about control. All about control. And then what's big about it is that this determines your salvation as well. Because if you accept that, which let's go get that. Get that in the word. If you accept this new, and that's not to say the CBDC, like what's used now, is not the MOTB. The MOTB is the micro CHIP. Because if we said, when we go back to it, it said that where we at? You got to receive it in your right hand or in your forehead. So it has to be that device. That's the MOTB. The digital currency itself is not the MOTB. Like we might even be using that before, the micro CHIP rollout. So I just want to make that, clear that up. So let's go to Revelation 14 and 9. And it says, the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, that micro CHIP. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he should be tormented with fire and brimstone, those nuclear missiles and the chariots, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. You got a major problem with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai if you take that micro CHIP. And how they're going to do it is, they say this thing is going to come in with panic when it come into Babylon the Great, which is America. Because like I know, like we see in the comment board, a lot of Edomites see this coming. They know what it is. That's what we're looking at Jake, like how the heck Esau know what it is and you don't? You should know by all of the harsh treatment you done got here in Babylon the Great. And this devil knowing you don't. But see, Jake is just so, a 2/3 Jake is so airheaded. And see, they're going to have a problem too. This is why this thing going to come in by bloodshed. It's going to be a civil war. Because it's control. A lot of these redneck Edomites don't want that type of control. And plus, Esau gets a kick out of spending his physical cash. Because whose face is on the dollar bill? It's Esau. So if you take that away from Esau, you think he's going to be cool with that? That's him losing power. When he loses that physical dollar in his pocket. Esau about to go get the shotgun. Jimmy Ray, Billy Bob, they about to blah, blah, blah. Then the 2/3 Jake gonna be right along with Esau because Jake, a nigga Jake like to put his money to his ear. Little money phone money to the ear. When your money go digital, ain't no more of that. Ain't no more what they like to do, go in the strip clubs and make it rain. Ain't no more of that. With no more physical cash, when the dollar crash and the money goes purely digital, all that is out the window. So that's gonna start a whole lot of uproars. That one move. That one move. Now we don't need to get caught up in that because we already know they're gonna do it. But the redneck Edomites, 2/3 Jakes, they're gonna wild out because all they know is cash. I know I talked to a lot of Jake. I need cash. I better not. But you on the flip side of it, there's a lot of people that's gonna go right easy with it. Like for instance, my lead man at my job, he's a Moabite, which Moabite goes into China. Chinese. That's what a Moabite is. And he told me, he one of them older Moabites. He told me he ain't touched a dollar in years. He used everything by his card and his credit cards. He said that's his way of saving money. He was trying to tell me I need to do that. He said he ain't touched a dollar in years, man. He do everything by the card. So if you think about it, he's already kind of, conditioned to take that. He's already, he don't care. When they make transition, when they announce that to him, he's not going to care because he don't deal with dollars anyway. And if he's like that, there's a lot of other Babylonian Americans that's like that as well. So it ain't going to be everybody, but it's going to be some uproars though. Because like I said, some people like their cash. I like cash because really that leads to privacy. If I say I want, cut a yard or something, or if I want to pay somebody, or if I want to buy something, I don't want the government to know about it. I spend cash. Esau don't see that. Only person know about that is the buyer and the seller, me, the buyer, and the person that sold it to me. The government doesn't know about, I done bought whatever I bought and it was off grid. Now, if the money goes digital, you can't hide no transaction. And the government can disqualify you from transactions. That's a way he can do gun control by making the money go digital. See, I don't know if people thought about that. Like, The devil can control what you buy or sell. He gonna know when you bought it, who you bought it from, what time. That's what Esau wants, because he needs to be like Yahweh, like God. He needs that factor. So he's gonna use his technology to do it. And based on his technology too, he's gonna implement what the Most High wants him to implement, which is the MOTB, so that he can test his people to see who really loves him or who really don't. And that's the times we're going into, and it's coming quickly. I mean, quick, man. It's like this thing, as soon as it hit, and AI is going to further accelerate the process. Because in the U.S., we're already on the Fed now. The Fed now went in July 20th. So all Esau got to do is make a one phone call and say we're no longer accepting dollars. Everything is digital. And just like that, it's going to be chaos. Just like that. That's why he's carefully getting military stationed around the U.S. to, quell that, that little chaos. And everybody's gonna be on it. That's why you can't look. Ain't no getting around this. Every country is gonna implement a MOTB, a digital currency. Every country is gonna do it. Every known country, because they're all gonna give their power over to the beast. Which I'm gonna probably leave off with that. Check it out. We're going to read this. I'm going to start at verse 11. This is Revelation 17 and 11. And the beast that was and is not, even is the eighth, and is of the seventh, and goeth into perdition. What's it talking about? That beast right there is talking about the Roman Empire. That's why it said is of the eighth and of the seventh, because everybody thinks that Rome got destroyed and died. No, it didn't. Basically it did, but it rebirthed through the Renaissance period. That's why you still have the Roman Catholic Church. Rome never died completely. It just stayed, it was beat down and it was healed. That's why Babylon the Great is set up like Rome. We have a Congress, a Senate, all those things of that nature. They got them columns. We living in a revised Roman Empire. That's why the scripture said that it's the eighth is of the seventh. And then on verse 12, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. That's going into the EU, the European Union right there. Your 10 kings right there. They're going to consolidate into 10, and they're going to do what? Give their power over to the beast. And then 13, it says, these have one mind and should give their power and strength unto the beast. So China, everybody think that China and Russia, they all battling and all that, which they will, but not yet though. Because the scripture said they have one mind, they will give all their power to the beast. You got to think about it. Why, if Putin is bucking up against the establishment so much, why is he signing a digital ruble? Because he's going to issue out the micro CHIP. China, if China is so much against the U.S., why are they issuing out a digital yuan? Or as we seen in that clip, what they call it, the ECYN, they little digital little token. Why are they doing that? Because they're going to issue out a micro CHIP. Every civilized country on the planet right now will issue out the micro CHIP. Africa's going to do that. They got Nigeria, every asset, all money is going to go digital. When the money goes digital, then they're going to say, okay, we got to put a tracking device in your body if you want to continue using your digital, currency. And that's where we're heading. That's why we're putting out the warning, the declaration. Hey, get yourself prepared, get things in order, stay prayed up. That way you can avoid getting the micro CHIP. This is the time to do it now, y'all. To get yourself right, ponder on it. I do that daily, and decide what you're gonna do. Cause if you like me, I'm not taking that micro CHIP. I'm looking to win. So I'm getting everything in order now. Even getting in my mind, if I gotta be bummed out, I gotta be bummed out. I'm not taking that. What this devil's about to offer. And ain't no getting around it either. Every country, because people talk about, well, I'm gonna go over this country. Every country is going to issue it out. If you're in civilization, they're gonna do it. I just showed you, Russia done did it, China done did it. Though China is the number one economy in the world right now. So if they're doing that, the whole world got to do it. The U.S. is on a Fed now system now. They're gonna do it. You know, it's just gonna be hard to do it here because, you know, America was supposed to be based on freedom, and you know they like their privacy. So these people got lots of guns in America. So this place, it's gonna be hard to implement it. Nonetheless, they will, but it's gonna come in by bloodshed because these people, it's about to be a civil war. That's gonna start a civil war in Babylon the Great, America. So with this being said, I hope it's been very informative. I hope it's been edifying. I want to say Kwame Yasharala, detail about Shalom.